Hey guys, Puggo's Pizzeria here, and in today's video, we are talking about the cancelled Five Nights at Freddy's NFTs. So, I know from that sort of intro and the title, you guys might be a little confused on what these even are, when they came out, and when this even happened, because I honestly was too. Now, I got all my information from this really cool TikToker, so go check him out if you would like, and that's how I found out about this whole situation, because I make FNaF news videos, and I never even knew about this. So, apparently, Scott Cawthon was going to make Five Nights at Freddy's NFTs, which was very surprising, I would say, for something as big as kind of NFTs, especially when, like, the Huggy Wuggy Poppy Playtime, when they did it, everyone hated on them for it. So, it was very surprising that I was unaware of the whole Five Nights at Freddy's NFTs. So, Scott Cawthon was going to partner with this company called Wax, who apparently makes a bunch of NFTs, but the NFTs they make, they're like, oh no, they're good NFTs, they're so good, but they're not really. It's like, it's just, they're less bad, if that makes sense. They're not good. They're just less bad than normal NFTs. They're like, oh yeah, our NFTs, they don't use any of the toxic chemicals that Ethereum uses or anything. If you don't understand, basically, to make an NFT, it requires so much energy from a computer that it does really bad things to the environment and it hurts it. So these NFTs, they use less energy, but it still uses so much that it's still harmful, basically. And Scott was making these, and then he put out a post. He's like, hey guys, I don't really know what NFTs are. What are these silly things? Are they like silly little fidget spinners? But he put out this post at the time when everyone kind of knew that NFTs were stinky, yucky poo-poo, you know? As everyone kind of knew it, and everyone's like, no, Mr. Cawthon, you can't be doing this. This is bad. And he's like, no, this is just a silly trend that you kids love to do. Now, I'm not hating on Scott Cawthon, and I do still personally respect him, but I can't lie, he's made a few questionable choices with the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. So it's kind of unknown what these sort of NFTs would have even been, honestly, because no real images, at least from what I found, have been shown, and they weren't going to be tied to security breach at all, so it's kind of unknown why Scott Cawthon would want to even make these NFTs. In his post explaining it, he said they wouldn't be needed for security breach, and they wouldn't be expensive or anything, which kind of, I don't know, seems a little questionable because most NFTs are really expensive, and he thought they were some kind of digital collection trend. And I mean, like, Scott Cawthon, if you want to make more collectible things, just make more stuff with Funko or plushies or whatever. So it was very kind of interesting why Scott sort of decided to do this all of a sudden, because it wasn't prompted, you know? People weren't like, oh boy, we want some Freddy Fazbear NFTs. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and that's, I feel, where a lot of fans got upset about it, also because NFTs are bad. But because of all this, then Scott Cawthon had to make kind of a apology post with it, from what it seems. And in his whole kind of apology post, what he talks about is how he's sorry for making NFTs and he didn't mean to do this, but they're not actually bad because it uses less energy. So he's like, yeah, me and the company I was working with, no, they're pretty good. They're pretty good for the environment, actually. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. So he kind of, it seemed, doubled down a little bit in his post, that, like, he's like, no, NFTs are good and I'm gonna keep making them. And then it basically got to the point, which, even though I was very unaware of this, I guess, that most of the Five Nights at Freddy's fans were kind of boycotting them in a way. Many people really disagreed with this, and of course they voiced their opinions on Reddit, which was the main place that Scott Cawthon talked, and I'm pretty sure they voiced their opinions on Twitter and probably YouTube and other things like that, just kind of putting out their opinion about the NFTs and how they're bad. And then it seems that everyone basically came to the kind of mutual decision that if he did go through with this and he did end up making all of these sort of Five Nights at Freddy's NFTs that people would boycott Security Breach because these came out before Security Breach, and people would not buy the game. And I can tell that this was very bad because many people were very vocal about this. They were very public about their opinions of NFTs because I feel like many people are, especially for the Five Nights at Freddy's community. They are not people to go out and buy NFTs. You know, just make more plushies. People love plushies. But with the Five Nights at Freddy's NFTs, after kind of all the backlash and all the drama that Scott Cawthon received about these NFTs, he decided to kind of make a edit to his Reddit post. Basically, he's like, guys, I guess I've been ratioed. Is that what the kids say these days? You sure showed me. You really stuck it to me. I guess I'm gonna have to cancel these NFTs, but I'm not doing it for me or the backlash. I'm doing it for Five Nights at Freddy's and the community. I want this to be a wonderful community with and it was, you kind of get the point. He was like, no, I'm canceling these for personal reasons because I care so much. Now, he could be, he could be genuine, but from what I've seen, it doesn't seem that way to me. Basically, just because it seemed a little forced, kind of, the way he said sorry. He also said he'd been ratioed in his apology, so it's a little grain of salt to take with it. But basically, his whole apology, he's like, yeah, okay, we're not gonna be making these. I'm sorry. But then it really contradicts himself because he didn't make a whole new post talking about how he's not going to be making them. He just edited the same post that he doubled down on. So like earlier in the post, he's like, yeah, no, NFTs are pretty epic, they're pretty poggers, they don't hurt the environment, and I'm gonna keep making them. And then right under that, he's like, no, I'm sorry guys, that's my bad. I'm very sorry for making these NFTs. So I thought, this would be an epic video to kind of fill you guys in on what happened with the actual NFTs. Now, again, Scott Cawthon, I don't think is a bad person. I still respect Scott Cawthon, I really like him as a person, basically. And people do make mistakes, I guess. I'm not defending the NFTs. I'm just saying I don't hate him or anything. So don't think I hate Scott Cawthon. He's an awful person. But yeah, that's kind of the whole update on the NFT situation. It's very cool how this kind of went, for me at least, under my radar, and I assume it went under a lot of other people's radars, because, I make a lot of FNaF content, so I know a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I've never really once heard about this, ever. So, yeah, that's the whole video. If you enjoyed, subscribe, join the Discord. I have an epic TikTok, you can go follow that, and I'm live every week on Twitch. All those links in the description. If you want to check them out, that'd be very epic. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you all later. Good